We plan on reaching FIRE by the end of 2024. After that, we plan on slow traveling the world and exploring and having numerous adventures. In order to do that, we have to get to our destination. Today, we're going to tell you all about the 10 ways that we've come up in order to save money on traveling the world.
And you might have noticed that as well, which is the price of the travel. It's actually increasing quite a lot. As we know, it's still kind of related to COVID, but not only that, there are a few factors that it's actually making those prices go up.
We've got the war in Ukraine with the oil prices going through the roof, so that's generating higher fuel costs, which are going to raise your airline tickets. As well, there's always that increased demand too. We've had 2 years really for a lot of people of not being able to travel or go anywhere. Now, a lot of those pandemic measures have been dropped or lowered, so it's easier for people to go, and people want to go. So there's a higher demand for travel as well.
And we also wanted to go. As a result, we have to find ways to travel cheaper. And today we are going to go and share 10 tips with you of some of the things that we have been learning over the years. And guess what? Some of them we are going to be experienced for the first time in our next trip to
Mexico.
Hola, amigos. To Mexico, and at the end of the year when we go and visit Brazil. My name is Jean.
I'm Christine.
We are a Canadian couple living in Toronto. 2024 is our FIRE date, and after that, travel it is.
Travel the world.
Okay, let's talk about those 10 tips. What is the first one?
So the first one's pretty, I guess maybe common, but to travel off season or travel shoulder season. So what a shoulder season is you have your high season for travel, which is generally the summer months or your Christmas vacation months, because that's when the majority of people are actually going to have their vacation time. Kids are out of school. Makes sense. That's when you're going to travel.
March break and all of that. Yeah.
So if you're able to travel on the shoulders of those two seasons, so in the fall or in the spring, generally you're still going to get really nice weather, but the prices aren't going to be quite as high because there's not as many people that are going to be going. Most people are back to work, kids are back in school, stuff like that. So if you can stay flexible on your travel dates, it's going to save you some money down the road. And that goes for airline tickets too. So if you're able to stay flexible and instead of flying Saturday to Saturday and can fly a Tuesday to Tuesday, you're going to find a lot of times that fares are cheaper during the week when there's less travelers.
The second tip that you have is using travel hack with credit cards. As we do record this video in July 2022, we have accumulated more than 400,000 points only on this year on kind of travel related points. Some of them related to airlines, some of them related to hotels, but we are going to use some of those points to help us in going through these destinations.
Yeah, especially for our upcoming trip to Mexico. We're using, one of the credit cards came with a companion pass, so it's basically a buy one, get one free airfare. You pay the taxes and fees for that second fare, but the base airfare is free. And as well, one of the other cards we hold has a $300 hotel credit that we're going to be using for part of our stay at a Marriott hotel. So those ones are going to come in handy this time around. And there's others that we will use going forward, lounge passes, stuff like that. But the tickets are mostly paid for with the reward points.
Yes, and even for this one, they're kind of related to hotel, it's a Marriott card. We also get every year a night free certificate that, of course, we are going to be using this year as well. We are also going to experience something new, which is using another card, which is this one.
Yeah, it's pretty color.
It's pretty colorful. It's the Wise card. We have been trying this card for quite some time, and just to make sure that it makes sense to what we are planning to do, at the end of the day, the credit card, the rewards are gonna be our basic card that we'll be using. However, there might be cases where we need to withdraw cash, and if you need to withdraw cash, you usually go to an ATM at your destination. You are able to do this. However, the fees that we pay are quite high. Using this Wise card, it's a little bit different. We are gonna be trying this card in Mexico and see how it's gonna work. So if you are interested in know more about this card, let us know. And I'm gonna tell you one of the tips that we already have. We do have a US account in an US bank. I mean, it's like Canadian bank, but within US. And sometimes we try to transfer money to that account and hold it in US dollars. We have a few credit cards in the US, so that's why we wanted to transfer money to the US and take advantage of those cards. That's why Wise comes really handy, because the fee that you have to pay, it's actually lower than doing the transfer with a Canadian bank.
Yeah, you get a better exchange rate with Wise, at least for the American currency. It's the only one we've done so far. We might look at the Mexican peso, but it really comes in handy as a cash card in your foreign countries. At least that's our understanding. We're going to do some research and let you know.
Yeah. You might subscribe to our channel, because by the time that you are in Mexico, we are gonna go and record a few videos going through our experience. So if you have not subscribed yet, it might be a good opportunity.
So the third really key point, I think, and this is going to depend on how much vacation time you really get, but if you utilize the stopover feature in a lot of airlines, you can actually, depending on the route that your flight takes to your final destination, get to see 2 countries or more over the course of one trip. So say you wanted to go to, well, for instance, when I went to India, we did a stopover in Paris. So we were able to stay in Paris for 5 days before we went on to India. So you're able to kind of see multiple places for the cost of one ticket.
Yeah. Number 4, it's using budget airlines. So we have Swoop, we have, what else?
JetBlue,
Ryanair. So
There's a
all
bunch.
over the place. Try to use those airlines as well.
Fifth one is one that we're recently, and we've never done it, and we're looking forward to trying it when we reach fire, but they're called repositioning cruises. So if you have some extra time, again, depending on your vacation, you can take a repositioning cruise. Basically, it's a one-way cruise. So they do them quite often from North America to South America to Europe. And they're all basically your shoulder seasons again, when they're moving their cruise ships to their new season of touring. So you hop on board, say 14 days to cross over from North America to Europe. You spend a bunch of days at sea, but you still hit a bunch of ports of call like you would on a normal cruise. But the benefit being your accommodation is paid for within that ticket, your food is paid for within that ticket, and your travel. So for probably the same price as an airline ticket over, you're getting 14 days of accommodation, food, and travel.
Yeah. Another tip that I have is related to set notifications. It's as simple as that. Use Google. You might be familiar, I mean, you should be familiar with Google. Google Flights, they have a notification that you can, that you can turn it on. Just pick where you are, where you want to go, and give it a range within the date and set the notifications. Skyscanner is another example. There are Hooper, it's another one. There are, and Skyscanner and Hooper, those are actually 2 apps. Create an account and see how it works. I mean, the flexibility of being financially independent and not having to work or having to go in a certain period of time allows that.
Number 7 is to utilize hostels. And now I know a lot of people are going to say, we're older, I don't want to stay in a hostel, those are for young kids. In fact, they're not. You can find some really nice hostels that are private room, private bathroom, really nice for a fraction of the price that you would pay for a regular hotel in the city. Are there going to be younger people there? Possibly, but you're also going to find some older people, and it's a great way to meet new ones as well. So just keep an open mind. I think we're going to throw a picture up on the screen. This is a hostel in Cancun, actually, and it's $65 a night. Beautiful room, beautiful bathroom. It's fairly central, and it's a fraction of the price that you'd pay somewhere else.
Don't focus on only Airbnb or VRBO. So yes, those are great, but use other tools to compare as well. So there might be something just besides the unit that we're looking at, Airbnb, that we are not aware of.
Yeah. So right along the same lines as hostels, another option would be house sitting or pet sitting. So number 8 is house sitting or pet sitting. Lots of great websites out there where you can sign up to become a pet sitter or a house sitter.
Yeah.
And that's literally somebody's going to loan out their house to you while they're away on vacation, assuming that you're going to take care of it, walk their pet, feed their pet, keep the house clean and tidy. But now you're in a new city, in a new country most likely, and free accommodation.
Yeah, and you gotta do this. You gotta love that. It's not only, yes, I'm gonna travel, please do take care of the pets, because the person trusts you to do this.
Yeah.
And you are a human being. You are not gonna do anything wrong with the pets.
We love pets.
Yeah, we do.
And number 9.
Free tours. When you go to those places all over the world, you might go with, like a company, but there are always on, most of the cities out there, those guys, which are the local guys, also offering free tours around the city. All that you have to do is usually pay them, at the end of the tour, whatever
Like a
the
tip.
amount is. It's kind of a tip. You gotta be careful 100%. You gotta make sure that this person is actually qualified to do this. Take a look at the reviews, but at the end, this is something that we can also take advantage of.
Yeah, a lot of those sites like Lonely Planet or a lot of cities will have their own websites, and they'll often list the starting points for free walking tours. And they literally are free. You don't technically have to pay anything or leave a tip, but at the end of the day, these people are giving up their time to take you on a tour of the city, which are usually really good. And the best part is you're giving your money directly to them and not through a company, so you know that all of it's going towards them. So that's more beneficial to us than going through a company.
This is the really good aspect of financial independence, which is, yes, you are financially independent, but once you go to those different places, you are helping the local community. That's really a nice thing to do.
Exactly. And that's what we're really hoping to experience and do on our journey.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Last but not least is number 10.
Which is learn to adapt. And I just read it from her points here. You gotta be flexible with your travel situation. We understand that even on our case now, we don't have that much flexibility.
Yeah, you can have like a general idea of what you want to do and where you want to go. And sometimes it's not possible if you're in a really tight timeline. But the more flexible you are, the more you're able to go with the flow, because frankly, travel is like life and not everything is going to go like expected. I think the better off your trip will be, and potentially the less expensive it's going to be if you're able to adapt to any given situation.
Yes, if you have 2 weeks, you're going to be able to do this. But if you have 2 months, so many things to do.
Yeah, there's a really great quote from, I love quotes. There's a really great quote from Helen Keller, and it is, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." So choose the adventure, because nobody wants to just be sitting at home and doing nothing. So these are our 10 ways to hopefully help you travel cheaper to achieve all of your adventures.
Yes, you might choose to subscribe to our channel.
That's always an adventure.
Yes, that's always an adventure.
Even for us.
Even for us, and we can always see the bloopers on how we are at the end of our videos and all the mistakes that I am the one who usually
No,
make.
that's not true.
Yeah, we are transparent about our financial situation. We are so grateful to have you part of our journey. Even though we share ours, it's not about us, it's about you. You see how we are doing, you see the mistakes that we are making, Christine calls learning opportunities, and we can adapt to our own financial situation. We are not financial experts at all, we are just a couple sharing our journey to financial independence with you.
Yeah, and part of that is learning how to budget travel. We hope you learned something or took something away. Maybe one of these tips resonated and you thought, maybe I'll try that next time around.
Yeah.
But that's how we're going to be traveling. That's how we are traveling right now. And it's really working out.
Yes. Thanks for your time. Thanks for allowing us to be part of your journey as well. And we'll see you in our next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Good.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's just my arm up here, so this is like the picture. Good.
All right.
All
2
right.
down. Last but not least, number 10.
which is
learn to adapt. So, hope you you. Are you in the break?
I think so. Yeah. And you might have seen this. Here we are. And you might have experienced that as well. We are in July